What is a hero anyway? Hero comes from the Greek word for protector or rescuer. Do heroes protect and rescue us? Sometimes. But I think a hero is more than that. More than just someone who's willing to risk their physical well-being to save people. I think heroes can also be people who serve as inspiration, who break boundaries. I think heroes are just people who we look up to in some way. And it doesn't have to be all aspects of their lives. It could be just one small aspect of their lives that we really wish to emulate. But I believe that makes people heroic. My Grandma Julia, at her tallest, was 4 feet 9 inches tall. She immigrated from Hungary to the United States when she was 8 years old. At 13, she had to quit school to get a job at a cafeteria to help support her family. She was the only one in the household who had a job during the Great Depression. Grandma Julia's father suffered from steel lung. When she became engaged to my grandfather, she waited 4 years for her father to recover enough to walk her down the aisle. That day never came. Grandma wasted nothing. When I was 14 and newly vegetarian, I was slightly horrified by her cooking practices. Grandma never threw anything away. The last Thanksgiving that I spent with Grandma Julia, when we were faced with a stuffing shortage, she quickly excavated some from the back of her freezer. It was 2 years old. Garbage men loved Grandma Julia. At the end of each week, she maybe had a gallon of garbage to send to the landfill. Grandma was a bit of a food hoarder, not out of some strange consumerist addiction, but more out of habit. She raised 4 children on the meager salary my grandfather brought home, working nights at Ford. Her basement was neatly and artistically piled high, with bags of chips and pork rinds, cans of soda and light beer. It was like a food museum. Grandma Julia was heroic. She was full of hope, gratitude, energy, and kindness. Despite her hardships, she never grew bitter or let sadness erode her spirit. Here's to all the Grandma Julias. My cat Bandit was found under a porch, recently neutered but gravely ill. I adopted him from a shelter called the Pixie Project. I didn't know it at the time, but the Pixie Project takes animals that are rejected by the Humane Society due to illness. The Pixie Project has a tiny room where the kittens and cats face the street. You can go window shopping for potential pets. Bandit was one of 3 adorable kittens that we visited one day. It took my son about 2.5 seconds to fall in love with Bandit. Although the agreed-upon name was going to be Lego Salad Spinner, the tag that curled around his neck read Bandit, and it seemed to fit with his tortoiseshell mask. Bandit was more ill than he let on in that little display room, and we spent several of his first weeks at home getting him to swallow antibiotics and taking him on a few overnight stints at the animal hospital. I had never seen a cat cough and sneeze like Bandit did those first few weeks. At times, Bandit was so ill he wouldn't get up to drink. I had it in my head that he would suffer kidney failure if not well hydrated, and would bring him a glass of water several times a day for him to lap up. He would drink out of the little plastic cup and knead the floor and purr like he was a nursing kitten. Bandit is fine now, but like all little creatures that overcome illness or trauma, I find him heroic. He catches mice, has even conquered a rat, can use the toilet. Really, he locked himself in the bathroom during a weekend vacation. He's a resilient and inspiring little creature, although he still squeaks like a rubber ducky from time to time.